There's a school bus that's slowing and it almost went into the back of the school bus, trying to get around the school bus here. This is a dangerous situation.
An armed robbery suspect in a stolen SUV is driving recklessly after hitting school bus speeding on highway.
20 minutes we've been listening to the dispatch on Eastbourne. This is a Hyundai SUV that, according to the Illinois State Police dispatch, is wanted for armed robbery earlier this day. This pursuit we heard on the Eastbourne started off the Bishop Ford Freeway. That's 94. Went back and forth in Sibley, went down to the south suburbs, almost a collision about 3 minutes ago where this vehicle, as you can see, an extremely high rate of speed, turned around in Glenwood Dyer Road. Currently, this is northbound 394, and we are about a mile before I-80. This vehicle, I would say at this point, is exceeding about 100 miles an hour. There's one, Max is going to stay with the vehicle here, so what you cannot see is behind it is the Illinois State Police in several suburbs that are coming up on this as well. Several times they were almost able to get to this vehicle, haven't been able to do it as of yet. Behind this vehicle, there are probably about a dozen squads with their lights flashing. So now we're northbound on 394. There's a lot of interchanges here where this vehicle could go several directions. If they go east, they go towards Indiana. If they go west, they'll head towards the Tri-State Tollway, or they may continue northbound into the city, and it looks like that's their plan right now. So this has been ongoing again. This is a Hyundai, and they're saying from this point that this vehicle was wanted for armed robbery. Now it's heading towards the city, so we're northbound 394. As you can see, driving erratically here. This is the Bishop Ford. This is the beginning of the Bishop Ford Freeway, northbound as we get up towards about 167th Street. Again, a lot of vehicles behind this. This vehicle will eventually maybe head up towards the city, and a whole network is waiting for them. What typically happens here is the state police will notify other suburbs. For example, this is heading up towards Dalton, Calumet City. Those suburbs may enact their people here to try to catch this vehicle ahead. And again, that's almost happened. There was almost a collision down in Lansing near Cottage Grove, down about Glenwood Lansing Road. Again, this vehicle wanted for armed robbery. They did say in the dispatch they believe there are 2 people inside and they're armed, and they're heading northbound here in the Bishop Ford, right around 159th Street. Right, so this is the far southern limit of the city of Chicago. The 130th Street, if you go about a mile south of here, that's where the CalSag is. That is the southern limit of the city of Chicago. The vehicle is now westbound at the 130th, heading from the Bishop Ford. Will eventually head towards Indiana. Now, about a mile ahead here is a very dangerous turn where you have to go sharp, basically westbound to Indiana, and then you go north. That is an area that is normally stopped up and a difficult turn, so something might come to a head here near 130th in Indiana. As you keep going, if you keep going westbound here, you'll eventually get back into the suburbs. You can see there's some road work here on 130th.
Oh, now he's going the opposite direction.
We can't show you behind.
He's going the opposite direction.
It looks like he's going to try to turn here. Almost hit another vehicle that's heading eastbound and maybe trying to make a turn. What we can't show you behind this because Max has to stay on the SUV here. Again, that is a Hyundai that is wanted for armed robbery, according to Eastbourne. Now we've got maybe about a half a dozen troopers with lights flashing here going westbound at 130th. So we're coming up to that railroad interchange here. This is 130th in Indiana. You go underneath and we'll have to turn either right or left here. You've got a lot of vehicles also that come north or south. This is a dangerous intersection as it is, so let's see what the vehicle does here. All right, so it's going to get northbound. This is on Indiana, and again, we're still in the city of Chicago. And then the vehicle, as the state police are getting closer and closer, the vehicle, state police are right behind it as it has to navigate these turns. 3 blocks to 127th Street. We're west on 127th Street, and the police are close behind here. So you'll keep going west on 127th Street. And again, all of this is very, very dangerous. A lot of traffic in the other direction. There's a school bus that's slowing, and it almost went into the back of the school bus, trying to get around the school bus here. This is a dangerous situation. Let's hope that school bus isn't occupied with kids. The vehicle able to get by here as the police continue this pursuit. This has been ongoing. We've been listening to this, I believe, since about 4:15. It's been ongoing before this, and again, it's traveled probably north and southbound of another 15 or 20 minutes and maybe about 20 to 30 miles here. Went from all the way from where we are now near 130th, and now this vehicle is really picking up speed in the straightaway here on West 127th. Went all the way down to Lansing, almost collided with a few vehicles, came all the way back north on the 394 here to the Bishop Ford. Now we're on 127th. There is an officer waiting for this vehicle here at 127th and Halstead, and that is coming up in a matter of seconds here, so we'll see what happens. They have to stop for the light at Halstead in traffic, and there is another squad that is right there.
Just missed
that, I believe that's Calumet City. That's coming in at 127th and Halstead. You'll notice that a lot of the pursuees here are either Illinois State Police or suburban jurisdictions here, as this vehicle keeps going to 127th Street. Now again, we're in a city limits situation where we're going to cross I-57 in a matter of minutes here. The north side of I-57 here on 127th Street is Chicago. South is Blue Island. 127th westbound, and you can see how fast this vehicle is going. It has taken it, even with traffic, we're at 127th and Troop now. It's taken about 3 minutes to get from 127th all the way from the Bishop Ford, that's I-94, towards I-57 here. This is a busy intersection. 127th and Ashland here. We're by the expressway. Now we're crossing I-57, turning northbound here. Let's see if they jump on northbound I-57 towards the city here.
This is a very frightening situation, and at what point do you think there may be a shift in tactic here, Mike? I don't know. We don't know how far back they are because you can't change, and we don't want you to change the shot.
We've seen them gotten close a couple times, but you imagine a significant amount of coordination between the agencies here to try to communicate a possible path of where this person might go, even though there doesn't seem to appear to be any sort of plan.
This is another area where this vehicle, a Hyundai that is wanted for armed robbery, can pick up a large amount of speed. And now we're exiting again here. Let's see, we are at 87th Street. So I believe they're exiting at 87th Street.
So you're getting into a residential area, and this is rush hour still, and who knows what the circumstances are. School is in session, so there are potentially schools nearby that could be part of the problem. They're on residential streets now where you don't have, you have to slow down at each street to make sure that you don't run into anybody a lot of times on these side streets. So there could be pedestrians making their way. Fortunately, it's cold. Maybe people, not as many people may be out walking the streets, but still, you're in a residential area, and he's still going well beyond the speed limit.
So the lights that we saw flashing on the expressway, and again, if you're just joining us here, as the vehicle parks again, this one up and down 394 and up and down the Bishop Ford Freeway, there were lights the whole time. Those lights appear to be gone. Now there is a vehicle, let me count my streets here, that's coming off of 83rd Street as this there's two people inside this vehicle get out there on the sidewalk. There are squads that are starting to come west on 83rd Street. So we are, let's see, I think we're about a block east of Martin Luther King. I do see squads, and again, we can't show you that shot here because
they're splitting up. One person's going one direction, the other's going in the other.
Right, one person's gone in different directions here. There are squads moving in. So we're in an apartment complex here.
Again, we've been holding our breath.
And we just saw something being thrown over the fence too, yeah.
And now,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I hope that people who are watching in that neighborhood there can find a way to stay sheltered, since we do know, as you've been reporting, Mike Lorber, that these two are armed. And they are suspects in an armed robbery from earlier today.
I'm going to ask you, you can see there's a squad that just went right by him right now. And he threw something on the ground. Nick, if you can hear me, our pilot, has the Chicago Police Department helicopter, are they up flying over this? So the Chicago Police helicopter has been flying about this as well, and we've been so focused on these people that have been winded. That is important because they have the same perspective we do, which means that they, from the air, can direct the Chicago Police Department down below here to where these people are. So this is the man that we saw get out of the vehicle. Again, this was a Hyundai that was wanted for armed robbery. The Illinois State Police Network, and there you go. There's a squad pulling up right now.
Oh.
And let's see if we have a foot chase here. I believe we're on 83rd Street, and I believe somebody is about to be taken into custody.
Remarkable, walking so casually down the street, it looked like they were on a cell phone, and that Illinois State Police car just rolled up real fast and got out and told them to get back onto the sidewalk there. And watching another officer approach their